everyone. Today I'm going to be unboxing the Halo game that just came out on Board Games. So it's going to be the Halo Fleet Battles Fall of Reach. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. I just got this in this morning from the War Store. So that's thewarstore.com. They were actually selling it over at Gen Con, and I was not able to actually get up a physical copy at that time. So I actually am opening it now that I had to order from them at that time. Here, I gotta switch hands every so often. I'm recording this on my phone as I don't have a tripod set up or didn't want to use my webcam. So you're gonna have to just bear with me as I have to keep switching hands, and hopefully it's not too bad stable-wise. Anyway, so this board game is a fleet-based board game similar to that of Star Wars Armada, and a little bit of Firestorm Armada, I believe it is, from Spartan Games. So this is also Spartan Games game, for lack of better terms. And let's see if I can't open it all up. Thank you for the my nice little invoice here. This is the Gen Con edition. So let's see right there. Yeah, Gen Con edition, etc., etc. Fall of Reach Gen Con. Order had to be placed within the dates, which we purchased it actually right then at Gen Con. So here it is. Of course, I have it the wrong way, so we'll just go ahead and spin it real quick. But anyway, it is a two-player battle box from Spartan Games. It's a tabletop Starship combat in the Halo universe. It, like I said, is very similar to Star Wars Galaxy, or not Star Wars Galaxy, Star Wars Armada. I played a lot of that in the past couple of months, and so or weeks, months, whichever. So I'm kind of familiar with it, so it's not too different. Let's see if we can go ahead and pull this thing out of the box. It is tightly packed in here. Let's see if I can at least slide it out. Alright, I have to do this the old-fashioned way. There we go. Finally out of the box. So, here's the back. We already saw the front. We'll just have to edit that part. But anyway, so here's the back of it. Fleet Battles. Everything's pre-colored in sprues. I will paint them later. Two-player battle box is the ultimate way for fans of the Halo universe to recreate exciting space battles, featured in the UNSC and the Relentless Covenant Armada, developed with close consideration or cooperation with 343. Fall of Reach puts you in the center point of the most pivotal naval conflict in the Long Covenant and Human War, etc., etc., massive fleets, etc., etc. So basically, it takes place during the Fall of Reach, which is actually technically early in the campaign of the Halo universe. So you're talking technically only when Spartan 2s and a little bit of Spartan 3s existed. They shouldn't have, depending on which book you read. But anyway, so we have, looks like we have two punch-out sceneries with a bunch of tokens, the campaign guide, some static sheets for your references in terms of what your ships can do. You have fleet commander data sheets and a gigantic rulebook, along with 49 highly detailed plastic models and a bunch of like 30 dice. All right, so let's see about opening this thing up. There looks to be 4 things here. So we'll go ahead and slice those open if we can. Now, the Gen Con edition should come with additional capital ships, maybe a few other little surprises I don't exactly remember, but in theory at least, is I should get some additional capital ships. Alright, so, okay, so it comes in what looks like, well, anyway, before we get to that, here's the bottom of it. It's made in England. There's the UPC. It contains the Covenant forces. It covers 1 of the heavy cruisers. That should actually be more because of the Gen Con edition. 2 battle cruisers. Again, that should be more. And then a bunch of the heavy corvettes. I think that's about proper. Yeah, and these are the actual size. So that's about, let's see here. I do have my knife that has reference in terms of inches on it. So as you can see here, if it focuses in for me, there we go. You're looking at 3 inches to here, and then another, looks like another, rough estimating, 2.5 inches or 2 inches, so this thing's about 5 inches, 5.5 maybe. There, of course, is your front of the box. Top of the box is just a nice little telling you what all it contains. Nothing too spectacular there. And then this side is the UNSC ships. Again, one heavy Epoch, which is not the Infinity, by the way. Infinity is a different class of ships. Bunch of Marathons, and then Paris frigates, kind of unnamed ships that you'd have to look up in the reference books. I actually do have myself the encyclopedia. I will have to pull it out, and if I'm going to name all my ships, it's going to be quite an adventure. Alright, so, contained in these 2 nice big boxes here. Box number 1, plain nondescript. Box, ooh, okay, that's how that works. Box number 2, nondescript. And then here is our planet sheets. I might get 3D terrain printed out. I might actually try and find some. But basically what this comes with, they are double-sided. They're a very thin plastic card, so maybe 110 pound, not plastic card, like, yeah, maybe 110 pound cardstock, I should say, that's laminated. So you got debris field, space station, asteroid, wreckage. Oh, they're both identical. Okay. And then if you flip it the other way, you get other stuff. So, okay, those are 2 identicals on the back sides. But then on the front side, you get a planet, you get a planetoid, debris field, asteroid, wreckage, and another asteroid. On this one, you get a gaseous cloud, M-class planet, debris field, more asteroids, more wreckage, more asteroids. And again on the back, we get 2 of these, so you get 2 gigantic debris fields, 2 gigantic asteroids, 2 space stations, 2 smaller space stations, 2 objectives, and then some wreckage, 2 of those. So again, they're slightly different art, but same thing. So we'll go ahead and put those aside, put the box aside, and now we get into what's in here. So, in here we have, I would assume this is the actual Gen Con piece, or maybe not. Yeah, this is the Gen Con exclusive part right here. So, this contains an extra sprue of the capital ship and an extra oh wow, okay. So this is, let me put this down. Here's what we're gonna do. So, we have capital ship. This is all one capital ship. There's gonna be 2 of these now, along with a, what I believe is a singular piece for a heavy, what is it, the Marathon? Or is this just another piece to this? I think it might just be another piece to this. This all one piece, and then a bunch of little Parises. So, why don't we open it up real quick, and we'll see what's all in here. So, again, we have the sprue. So it looks like all this is in here. I want to say this is all one piece for this main ship, and this is, let's see here. Yeah, and then this is probably parts to this. Does it actually say on here? Yeah, because they're all B. So I would assume they're all the same. And then of course you get the little pair of ships. There's the underside to it all. So, yeah, it probably doesn't need to be hardcore glued together, but I'm still going to glue it together. So that's what you get for the capital ship. Now, you get for the UNSC. Now the Covenant ship, same thing, you get 2 of the little corvettes, you get the main massive ship, and I believe that should build us right there, should be the additional top part for this big ship. So you're getting what looks like 2, 3 over here, and then one main. So that's good. You get the stands for it. So here are the stands. They are a bunch of pegs at different heights for your preference, and then square mounting areas that you can see right here, each with their individual peg holes, so you can place your ships anywhere you kind of really want on there. Now here you get additional, looks like fighter and bomber markers, along with different types of other markers there. I'm not sure what each marker does. We're playing with 3D printed markers at Gen Con, so it's a little different. Here you have, I know these are critical damage. That's actual damage in terms of stuff that's like actual damage to your ship. That's critical damage that affects your abilities. I don't know what everything else is, but then you have the Spartans here for when you assault. You have the UNSC dropships there for when you use boarding parties. You have the same thing here. You have Covenant ships, Covenant dropships by the looks of it. More of the same stuff. Covenant bombers, Covenant fighters. One thing is Zealots. Here's some more things of Zealots for when they board. More of the Covenant fighters, more markers, tons more ships. So I believe that was what is considered the, if I get it out here, that was the extra models free from Gen Con edition. So 40 bucks gets me a bunch of extra markers and the extra capital ship, which is kind of the important part because that means I can actually mount it differently. All right, so in this same box we also have all the books. Anything else? Yeah, a bunch of dice. All right. Okay, so first things first. Take a look at this book here. We have the Fleet Battles Fall of Reach campaign guide. So this covers the different missions you can play. So Fall of Reach Fortress World gives you a little history, gives you setup for any particular type of mission here with all the different types of rules and the certain fleets you got to use and the campaign victories. And it goes through this whole thing, 2 scenarios, 3. So this really covers the entire thing of Reach by the looks of it. And this is just if you were doing campaign as opposed to doing the just straight up battles. So this gives you some nice little like history. They tell you right there the battle groups that you can use. They tell you the forces. Then gives you the different chapters to play. Has optional rules, victory points, victory conditions, turn limits, deployments, etc., etc. So 7 scenarios, 8 scenarios, and then finally that's about it. But it does have little like continuation sorts of things if you were to, I'm assuming, keep going. There's your statistics for each ship. If you really want to get into it, there's better references in the quick start and on the sheet themselves. There's the different Covenant, the UNSC leader, the Covenant ships, and of course, as I'm folding the book there, the Covenant leader here. So, ship's master, and then fleet admiral. So, on the next thing we get is the Covenant ship markers. These go on those plastic things, so this way you can see exactly how you want to arrange your ships, like how much the cost is. It's a quick reference if you just were to look quickly at it. And be like, okay, the ship takes 8 damage and 7 then 4. Gives you your movement rating, gives you your hangar bays. Let's see what else gives you. It tells you what type of ships it is, etc., etc., etc. So nice little stands there. They also have pre-pegged out holes so you can easily place your ships in the correct formations. Nothing on the back. So each one different layouts. So there's the Covenant ones, there's the UNSC ones. So here's like, for example, the Marathon Heavy Destroyer or Heavy Cruiser. Gives you the different stats for it again. Those circles represent your weapon arcs. Each one, the blues are 2 different weapon systems there. The grays is another one. The longer range primary weapon is the outer circle. The secondary weapons are those inner circles. So you get more here, you get the different formations for the frigates, even more. Then all the little things the little tabs are falling out. So all the different formations, it's kind of cool how they give that to you. And then here's the quick assembly guide. So it tells you how to build the different ships. This of course opens up and gives us multiple stuff. So as you see here, all the different ships, how to build them. Here is the reference sheet. So this is going to be completely useful in terms of learning how to play. It's just a quick start guide. I remember when we were doing the demo at the War Store booth, this was the way to go. It just quickly referenced everything you needed. So that comes in there. Here's the quick reference guide for the different ships. So you can see there each different types of ship, and then the different layouts. You also have the different formations there. Same thing with the UNSC. You have the different ships, their different formations, and of course any of the different little additional ships you might need. So here we have more markers for ships, bombers, etc., etc. Same thing, Covenant, more markers. We have the commander cards. So here's the ship's master. He is, not even about pronouncing it, but it gives you all his different abilities for the Covenant. And then here's the fleet admiral. He gives you all the different, or vice admiral, he gives you all the different abilities for your UNSC forces. And then finally, here is another sheet of things, 2 of them actually. So Covenant stuff with damage, UNSC stuff with damage, and then finally we have the rulebook. Alright, so as I take the rulebook out of the plastic bag, it is absolutely massive. You're talking 120 some odd pages, but I mean it will cover every possible thing you need. So as you flip through it, different ships. Oh, those are some cool custom ships right there. Yeah, they had one of those custom ships at the like a 5-foot long ship at Gen Con. It was pretty sweet. But anyway, so you get a little bit of everything. You get backstory, the game mechanics. You get terrain that I want. How the hell do I get that terrain? That's the question. That terrain looks sweet. That's probably custom made. Oh well. Have to get some 3D printed or find somewhere that sells 3D like asteroids and stuff. Anyway, so it goes through all the different stuff. You got the different attacking methods. You have how you aim, how you roll, all the different stuff, what each terrain piece does. You get set up. You get the different breakdown of turns. Everything you could possibly need, all in full color. Gigantic book that might take quite a bit to read. So one of these days I'll get around to actually reading the whole thing instead of just going off the quick start guide. So again, whoa, that's some pretty painted ships. So it might be taking me a little bit to paint these ships up, but I definitely want to do it. Anyway, so more terrain and stuff, missile barrages. It tells you basically how things work, how things operate, how you do different roles. Basically everything you need to know in terms... Whoa. That's interesting. Oh, so there's rules for custom ships too. That's freaking cray. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Yeah, they do definitely have stuff for building your own massive elements. That's kind of cool. Okay, so this game really did think everything through then. That's sweet. Alright, so index, and then there's that. So that's pretty freaking awesome that they came out with all these different rules for future expansions, which, by the way, there are expansions coming almost immediately after this. I think they said sometime in August they're going to be releasing more war leaders, because you only have 2 right now, and they cost 100 points each in terms of your force. So they said they're going to be releasing more. They're going to be releasing more ships and stuff, so I'll be sure to buy those as well, because this game is awesome. It's just, like I said, it's a mix between Firestorm Armada and Star Wars Armada. So if you like either one of those two, this game definitely is awesome, especially since it takes place in the Halo universe, which is my personal favorite. But anyway, here's the different hit dice and everything else. You have, the critical hit, the not hit, the singular decent hit, and then the critical miss. So different things allow you to roll and re-roll separately. You have the 2 different styles of command dice. You get these, you get to roll them. I don't know exactly when I was doing the demo we didn't bother with these, but they allow you to do different things in terms of either the Covenant or the UNSC. They allow you to do different little tactics or maneuvers or whatnot else, additional little powers that you have to help change up the strategy. So, onto the second box here. I'm going to assume this is all the models. Yup, that's all the models, alright. So we already saw these, we don't need to go through those again. We'll just take a look at these guys right here. And we'll start off, of course, with the UNSC. So here you have the different marathon ships. So it looks like you get 2 right here, and then you have a bunch of little ships per sprue, and then you get another one of those sprues, so it looks like you get 4 full marathon ships, crap ton of little Paris. Of course, that's going to be a little bit of time to build. And then another one of these capital ships with the Paris Escorts that I mentioned earlier that came with the Gen Con bonus. So effectively I have 2 of these sprues now, which is pretty great, plus a ton of extra tokens. So here is the Covenant forces. On here we have the different, what is this thing called? I'm going to read this upside down. This is the battle cruiser right here. So there's your battle cruiser, your corvettes. So you get 1 battle cruiser and 6 corvettes per sprue, and you get 2 of those. So that way it gives you options to do different things. You can run them solo, you can run them escorted. There's different rules for each. And then of course, as I said earlier, another one of the capital ships right here, along with, shush kitty, shush, with 2 of the escorts for it as well. So that gives me the option to do the 2 different types of layouts for the capital ships. So that's pretty sweet that I have the options since I got the Gen Con edition. And then of course, ooh, look, a piece broke off. I might need this piece. We'll just put it over here and I'll get back to it. But anyway, you get all the lovely stands you could ever want. There's 4 per sprue. I already have 1 set of 4 from the Gen Con bonus. And then there's an additional 6. So we're talking 24 there. So not bad at all. And that, of course, is everything. See, empty box, and empty box. So, and there is the pile of everything sitting on top of each other, and there's the terrain. So that really covers all the unboxing for, what is this, the Halo Fleet Battles, the Fall of Reach. There's tons of it online, unavailable for, I believe it's $140 retail in the United States, so $140, but you can find it on the War Store, which is like the official carrier of it here in the United States for, I believe it's $120, so you're saving 20 bucks going through the War Store. And they also have all the different expansions that are coming out already listed for pre-sale, and they're all coming out in August, they say. So I would have to go and look up each individual one, but there's still a lot there. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up for this unboxing. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait to start building all this stuff. It's going to take me quite a while. It's all fragile, so be sure to use glue, definitely. But yeah, so going to be building this stuff, going to try and paint it up, going to make it look all fancy and sweet, and maybe I'll try and play it at some point if I can get people to play it with me. Anyway, thanks everybody, and I'll catch you in another video.